Hi guys, my name is Dan Reimold. I'm a journalism professor, student media advisor, author, reporter, and former journalism student who writes a ton about the student press and journalism education for my blog, College Media Matters, at collegemediamatters.com. With this video series, I'm simply aiming to offer some quick-hit insider advice for prospective college students who are considering majoring in journalism or becoming a journalism student, and of course also for their families and supporters who are helping them through the process. The area that I want to touch on this time around has to do with the definition of journalism within higher education. And hear me out, because it's not as straightforward as you think. Of course, most of us on an everyday level think of journalism in the vein of news reporting or commentary. It's the people and the outlets who are gathering and presenting us with the news or telling us what they think about it or why it matters or doesn't matter to us. In the higher ed universe, though, what you have to realize is that at times, depending on the school or the program, journalism can be a much wider catch-all term that might also include general media studies, communication studies, digital media work, advertising, PR, and marketing courses, and even in some cases I've seen creative writing or English-related courses. Nothing wrong, of course, with any of those areas, but for the most part, they are not all about the ins and outs of the news business or the craft of newsy journalism specifically. So my advice is to not be taken in simply by the fact that a department, program, school, or college has journalism in the name, but instead to look closer specifically at the curriculum, the courses, both the core required ones and the electives that are offered within the program or the school or college, to get a better glimpse as to how much straight news journalism is being practiced and preached and taught in the classes themselves. So a few clues that I would throw out there for you to consider. First, how soon is a news reporting and writing type course offered within the core of the curriculum? If it doesn't come within the first, second, or third class that students are required to take to be part of the program, that to me is a huge red flag in terms of how actually news-oriented the program must be. The second bit of advice I would throw out there is to look very closely at the core and elective courses in respect to how many are focused on journalism specifically and not on tangential areas such as, say, communications research, civic media, communications theory, history of media, media and pop culture, media in the United States, media writing, which is often a course that many mistake for being journalism oriented, but in reality is focused just as much, if not more, on advertising, copy, and marketing and PR work along with the journalism. Next, I would advise you to do some legwork and ask some questions of people pertaining to how many elective courses focused on journalism in the news sense are actually offered each semester or year. What you have to be careful of is seeing the curriculum and the listing of all the many possible journalism courses that students can take without realizing that in reality, that's the catch-all. That's every single course that might be offered for many years, either in the past or in the future, depending on planning. It does not mean that they are going to be offered, every single semester or every single year. It might be a couple of years before some of those courses are offered, and it just might have a single section at a single time that you might not be able to get into when the time comes. So get a real sense from talking to people, current students, some of the cooler, more candid professors, some recent alums, about how often you can actually take hardcore journalism classes, especially the kick-butt electives that you're being sold in the brochure and during the school tours and sit-downs with school officials. One other thing I throw out there is to then not only do your homework externally, but to also look internally. Consider what some of your side interests might be within the general journalism, media, communications arena. This isn't even talking about a separate outside major, minor, or focus area. In this case, it's simply thinking, do I want to be just as tech-oriented and have those skills, know the programming, know the ins and outs of some of the tech tools and platforms? Okay, are those classes being offered, and how much are they integrated into the journalism programs? Do I want to be more of a general, big-time media player? And so, might benefit from learning about the PR, marketing, advertising side, or some of the niche media areas, such as, say, sports reporting? Or does maybe your love of journalism come also from a love of writing? Maybe that's what you're about at your core. And so the opportunity to take some more creative writing type classes, magazine writing, narrative nonfiction, and some other types of courses maybe in the creative writing or English canon might be of real use to you and of interest. And so a program that has that side focus or that emphasis as much or even more so than hardcore straight journalism might be the way to go. Bottom line though, recognize that journalism does not always mean journalism as we have come to know it in the real world when it comes to higher ed. So look closer at the courses, ask tough questions, and think harder about what you want out of a journalism experience. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out this video. I'll post another one soon. If you have any specific questions about searching and getting into your dream journalism program, hit me up via email or in a comment on this video, and I will try and get back to you or address it publicly in a follow-up video soon. Thanks, guys. Take care.